And you mentioned injuries happen. Just injuries happen to Kirill Kaprizov. Don't happen as often, but they're obviously very under the microscope. And I know it was interesting the other day that Bill Guerin came over to the media room and kind of addressed reporters in an impromptu way, which first I thought when he was going to come talk to us, I thought this is a serious injury. Like this is bad news because it doesn't usually happen that way, But I think he wanted to hit the pause button or, stop the panic button from happening with him being injured. But just what do you know, or what do we think we know about Kaprizov in terms of how long this might be for him to be back in the lineup?
I'm just going to trust what Bill Guerin said, and that it's a minor thing, and that and I believe it. Now, it was very odd that he would come and address the media because that's usually John Hines's role, and usually when he comes and addresses the media, it's because it's a significant injury, right? So for him to come in and say this is a minor thing, I don't know, it's going to be a game or two, but let's not inundate Hines with questions every day. That told me right away he's not playing probably this homestand. When he says don't ask him every day, but I'm not sure if he's going to play tomorrow. Well, I think that meant that he's, when you say every day, it means that he's going to miss a little time. I get the impression he might be at least on the road trip. I don't know if to play both games. Maybe he practices Friday in Raleigh and plays against Carolina, where he had a hat trick last year. Didn't he have a hat trick there last year? You covered that game, I think.
So, yeah.
Yeah. They actually, that was their best game that I think I've ever seen them play there. Usually they're not very good in that building. So I think it's a groin. I think this is a guy that pushes his body to the limit every single night. I think he's probably been dealing with some soreness there. And I think that they're not very concerned about it, but they also don't want it to linger the way that I think Lauko's injury is more significant, but Lauko came back after missing some time and then got hurt again and aggravated the injury. And I think they just want to get this right and not, knowing that, they built up some status in this league by banking some points. I don't think you want to rush him back and then have this being a lingering, nagging thing all year long.
What would concern me more than the Kirill injury, because I think I agree with you. I think it is a short term, not a one of those week to week or month to month thing, is how they've been playing kind of without him or like the supporting staff here. Like, you know, you got like Matt Boldy who's really struggled, as much as John Hines wants to push the pause button on it. Like he struggled, last couple of weeks or maybe even longer than that. Ryan Hartman's in a drought, a serious drought. Some of the other guys that are supposed to be kind of the secondary scorers haven't produced. And for me, I've seen Boldy play some unbelievable hockey. And like 2 years ago, end of the season, he was like the hottest forward in hockey, carrying them to that playoff spot or along with Philip Gustafson. So he doesn't really pass the eye test right now, Mike. Just it just seems like he's not.
Yeah, and they're doing everything they can to protect him. Like anytime you ask John Hines about him, he gets like visibly agitated. Like I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. And John Hines and I respect it. It's not his DNA to ever publicly rip guys, but so maybe behind the scenes he's reading in the riot act. But enough is enough. Like you're a $7 million hockey player. You are supposed to be a star on this team. Like, I wrote a story earlier this season that it's not illegal to have two superstars, and he was playing like one. And he is got 2 goals in his last 18 games, and he is just throwing pucks away left and right. He's been soft on pucks, like all this stuff. Like this is where you need him to step up. Kirill Kaprizov can drive a line, even if he's playing with inferior players. So it cannot be an excuse that just because Eriksson Ek is out, that all of a sudden Boldy went into this drought and he's being forced to play with Freddie Gaudreau or Marcus Johansson or Ryan Hartman. Like he has got to play better, and somebody's got to beat that into his head. Like he cannot be throwing pucks away the way that he is. It's just really disappointing to watch here the last month, the way that he is, not just his lack of production, but just the way he's playing the game, the penalties, the turnovers, the again being knocked off pucks, not holding on to pucks. It's just it's got to change, and they need him. I mean, he is supposed to be an impactful go-to guy on this team, and he's been absolutely anything but here, and that's disappointing. Ryan Hartman, you know, he's got 49 shots since November 17th and no goals. That's the most in the league. And again, you know, if his line mates could put in a puck, you know, and he gets a couple of assists, it doesn't look nearly as bad. But he's been mostly playing top 6 minutes, top 6 role, and he's not scoring. You know, last night, unlucky a couple times. You know, as Eriksson Ek has that great redirection of his shot, goes just wide of the net. You know, he's coming down on the 2-on-1 with Eriksson Ek. I think he did a great job. I know that some people, it's always the result of the play, right? If you don't score, it's like, all right, he should have passed. But I love the fact that he had a shot first mentality there that was intended for a rebound for Eriksson Ek. And unfortunately, you know, it's hockey. And Eriksson Ek couldn't put the rebound in it. It flew right by him. So, you know, they just are not getting production from anybody in the lineup. Their forwards do not score. It's that simple, you know, and it needs to change. So I don't know. I mean, it's really been disconcerting here the last month.